Coming up on the CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show, it is round 19. Saturday has some absolute ball terrors. Unfortunately, Stats Guy had to preview St Kilda and North Melbourne. What do you like, Stats Guy?
I don't like that game, but I do like the unders in that game. And I also love Will Ashcroft to dominate at the Gabba.
Yeah, Leo, that's you. Go.
My favourite bet for the weekend is Charlie Curnow to stake his Coleman Medal claim.
Oh, nice.
Big call, but that is why Leo's fired. He can't get the flow on in the intro. I love it, a Marty party. It is CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show. Get your ear holes around it because it's coming right now. Welcome to the CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show for round 19 of the AFL. Footy's back.
Again.
No Thursday night games this week. It's kind of a good thing this week because the Matildas will be taking centre stage here in Australia on Thursday evening. I am the hostess with the mostest, Alex Donnelly. I am joined, as always, by the Stats Guy. He's here.
Absolutely. Still sad about North from last week, and I'm going again this week.
You've been sad for 15 weeks.
No, genuinely,
it's a
I wasn't that
perpetual
sad.
state of sadness.
I was like, I can see us getting up there, but last week has just shattered me. So, yeah, sad North fan right here.
And in for another week, doing a victory lap after winning a sandwich. Social guy Leo's back.
Alex, Liam, how are we? I'm the opposite of Stats Guy. I'm actually feeling quite happy.
Hey, I'm happy. We won.
Well, I said opposite to you.
Yeah,
you guys are on the way up.
Yeah, it's about to say. So, yeah, it's like the world is normal again. Hawthorn win, the Swans win. Carlton win for our host who is not here today. James Clementes and North lose. How good is it? So, as said, we're here for round 19 of the AFL. Player props, game picks, and best bets for every single game of the round. We actually have a proper countdown clock this week.
We do.
A siren will be sounded if we waffle on for too long. Thankfully, no 17-minute monologue about Carlton whipping West Coast.
Not wrong.
Last week's result, the hostess with the mostest, 6.
I don't know how you got 6
James
last week.
Clementes tipped a 5. The Stats Guy with 4. I think it was due to the Swans, and then there was another game in there.
What did you end up with
remember.
last week?
Tipping or fantasy?
Tipping.
3.
Oh,
Wow.
To be fair, I thought I was going to get 3.
I tipped Essendon and I tipped North.
That's
Melbourne.
right. The Essendon
Yeah, he tipped
one.
North, even though he got a sandwich out of Hawks.
Yeah, but that's the best result ever.
Either way,
he was going to
exactly.
win a sandwich or get his tip right. That's how you do it.
True.
All right, that leaves the numbers like this. James, 97. Myself, 99. Hopefully I don't stumble and get out. And the Stats Guy, that gap is closing.
I know,
He's
it's
on
closing the last couple of
103.
103, yeah.
All right, Friday night, Marvel Stadium. Essendon, $2.25. The line is 6.5. The Western Bulldogs are $1.68. Again, 6.5. The over-under, 170.5. This is a game that I've done. It is up on the website right now. And pretty simple one to start off with. I like the overs. Pretty keen on that. 4 of the last 5 between the two have hit the overs. Also, the Bulldogs have failed to cover the line in 5 of their last 7, which I found interesting. But Essendon, going back to this over-under, they've had 4 games at Marvel this season. They're unbeaten. They average over 100 points kicked in those games. Their over-under themselves is 81.5. I am all over that at the $1.87. That's 3 goals less. What do we think there? Obviously, the Bombers got blown off the park last week by Geelong. Again, it's the first time they've been there in 20 years. There's probably a letter being sent to the AFL this week going, hey, we're not going back till 2047.
They were horrible, though. They were just falling over their own feet. It was great to watch, actually. It was very funny. I was in an Essendon pub, and there was a lot of sad Essendon fans there, so it was great.
I'm just amazed you went to the pub, Stats Guy. Good for you.
What?
Yeah, that's
I never go to the pub.
Wowee, Stats Guy. Western Bulldogs obviously got beaten by Sydney last week. Dominated everything, except for the one thing that matters. Scoreboard.
No, it doesn't matter. They won everything else.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Bevo broke his hand as well after the game.
punching a whiteboard, probably from the lack of impact that Cody Waitman had on the game. As I said, the game gets tough. Cody Waitman disappears into the forward pocket.
Yeah, and so does Bevo's hand.
Oh, that's true, yeah. For player props here, Zach Merritt, 30 plus. He's had 7 games with 30 or more this year. Not much value there. It's $1.60, but back under Marvel, he had, 38 or 39 at Marvel a couple of weeks ago against the Crows. But one I like, little Ben Hobbs. He's in and under. He's been doing plenty. This is like the Luke Pedler thing. No one talks about him until someone talks about him.
Is he a fan favourite?
He's absolutely not a fan favourite.
He is for Essendon.
But I've heard a lot of people listening to footy podcasts and going, oh yeah, I like the way Ben Hobbs goes about it. No fan favourite, but just gets in and does his job. $1.50 for 20 plus. He's done that in 8 games this year. He's only played 12 games. I think under the lights at Marvel Stadium with the roof closed, he's had some of his better games there. And just in and under the contest where there's going to be a lot of contested pills. We saw last week the Dogs just had a lot of contests and obviously bounces around the ground. So really think that's going to be the way there. for Hobbs to hit the 20 plus. Kyle Langford is my goal kicker because 2 being a Peter still can't get near it. 3 plus. As we saw last week with the Dogs, the mid-sized forwards with a bit of pace and some tactical nous can really get under the Dogs' skin and kick a couple of goals. Tommy Papley with 4 last week. Langford, $3 3 goals plus is $4. He's kicked 3 or more in his last 3 Essendon home games. I don't mind that whatsoever.
Great.
He's played really well at Marvel this year. I think he kicked, 5 against the Gold Coast or was it GWS earlier in the season?
GWS, I think.
One of the two, yeah. So I don't mind that. They're my player props for Essendon. Really keen on that Langford one. Absolutely love it. But I've been yelling about it all year. Can the Western Bulldogs kick a winning score? Like I'm just hoping they kick enough to get to the over.
Yeah.
Because obviously that over under, 170.5. I'm thinking the Bombers get the 100.
Yep.
The Western Bulldogs, their average is bang around that 79 mark this year. Bontempelli's going to have to do it himself.
He has done it the last couple of years, to be fair, that.
Yeah, I saw someone say, is Bont wasting his career? Yeah, he's won a flag, but the last couple of years it's been a bit, how you going?
Yeah.
4 of his last 5, he's had 25 plus and a goal. His seasonal average is 27 possessions. 25 plus touches and a goal is $2.47. He dominated that game last week. I was just like, can he tear a hamstring? Because if he doesn't, the Swans were going to career away and win easily, just watching it. But he was so good. He manages to shrug off tackles and find space out of nowhere. His clearance work is outstanding. Another positive for them was Aaron Norton, as much as I dislike the headband.
Been good last couple of weeks.
He was awesome. Taking marks all over the place, kicked a bunch of goals. 3 goals plus is $2.65. And then, of course, we've got to talk about the Bulldogs players that get possessions but that don't impact. So this is the same game multi through better. Treloar, 25 plus. We've talked about Bont, obviously, 25 plus. Libba, 20 plus. That's $1.88. All 3 of them had 30 last week. Adam Treloar is one of the biggest possession gatherers ever who has the least amount of impact whatsoever.
Brad Crouch says hi, but
well, that's St Kilda, that's the thing. So,
but Treloar, I still think he's a good player.
Yeah, Treloar averages 30 plus a game this year. Libba is 27. All right, I'll go first on the tips. I'm tipping the Bombers. I think they bounce back. I trust them more than the Western Bulldogs because their best is explosive.
Yep.
The Western Bulldogs, I did have the stat, in 40 games since the 2021 Grand Final, so round 1 last year, they've given up 5 consecutive goals in 20 of those games. So every second game, a team will kick 5 straight on the Western Bulldogs.
That's a funny stat because I think the other 2 teams are like Hawks, North.
The other 3 teams were the bottom 3 teams in the AFL. Yeah. So I'm going to tip the Bombers there. Stats guy?
I'm going the Dogs. I think they're going to bounce back. I don't trust the Bombers, especially after their performance last week.
All right, Leo, the siren's about to go. Give us a bet.
My fantasy bet for this one is Andy McGrath for 80 plus fantasy points.
Yep.
He's paying $1.70 with Ladbrokes. So he averages 81 this season. So I think just sort of a nice little multi-edition, that one, playing that half-back role. I just don't think the Dogs half-forwards are very good at defending.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Not.
So, McGrath, I think this is a big game for
him. That's, as you saw last week, the rebound from the Swans is what caught the Dogs out. A bit of speed off half-back. There's the siren. Let's go. Saturday. Stats guy, you're up.
I am. 1 second. We got Richmond, $1.36. Hawthorn, $3.25 at the MCG, of course. The line is 18.5, which is pretty spot on, I reckon. The over-under is 165.5. Now, Richmond have done pretty well the last couple of years, won 7 of the last 9 meetings against the Hawks, and they're pushing towards finals now, the Tigers. They've won 5 of their last 6. They've obviously beaten some of the lower sides in the competition, but they're really pushing for finals, and I still think they could make it. The Hawks have actually had a solid few months themselves, but just the scoring power outside of Mitch Lewis is definitely lacking. I think we were talking to Leo about that. They're just missing that. Same as North, just missing another key forward.
Ben King come to Hawthorn.
Ben King come to Hawthorn.
I'm going to campaign that
We'll see Leo in the next game with a big sign, maybe for Ben King. But they're just lacking that size to score a big score. Jack Riot is struggling for them. He's obviously aging. And 11
he's kicked like 5 goals in the last 8 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I know he's getting older, but he's dropped off dramatically. And then 11 of the 16 Hawks games this year have gone under the total points. So I'm just going to go under 165.5. Without Tom Lynch and Riot out of form, I don't see Richmond kicking a big score. Hawks, I can't see them kicking a big score unless they're playing North again or West Coast and things like that. Then we'll have a look at some player props. Will Day, he's been absolutely awesome. I think one of your favourite players, Leo, for the Hawks.
Sure.
Just 25 plus disposals. I think it's about $1.45, just a good multi selection. He's averaging 26 disposals and 5 clearances this year. They've been putting him in the midfield. He's just there, Mr. Fix-It. He sometimes just goes back, I feel like he could play anywhere on the ground and still get that at least 20, 25 disposals. And then I know Leo's all over the fantasy bets, but I just really like this fantasy bet for Will Day. 90 plus AFL fantasy points. He's averaging 95 this year, and you can get 90 plus at $1.80.
Okay.
So I was really happy with that one. That's even another multi-pick if you want. Then having a look at the Richmond side of it all, Tim Taranto, 2+ goals. I know that Tim, everyone's sort of concentrating on how many disposals he's getting each week, averaging around that 30, 35. He's been absolutely awesome the last couple of months. But he's kicked a career high 14 goals this year, which has been awesome. He's been pushing forward, bursting out of packs, and he's one of those guys, sort of like Boak earlier in his career, that can just burst out of a pack and kick long, even from outside 50.
I like how you've just compared Travis Boak to Tim Taranto and they play for different teams.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I just think the way that Taranto's been playing at the moment is sort of like, prime Boak. Just guys really tough in the midfield.
It was a prime Boak.
Yeah, Boak was awesome. He was up there in the Brownlow a couple of years ago. Anyway, he's definitely dropped off Boak now, but Taranto's been awesome. He's kicked 2+ goals 4 times this year. I just reckon, especially against the Hawks, he's going to burst out of a pack and at least get one, which is just averaging just under one, but I think he's going to get two. $3.40 I thought was really good value there. And then just to finish it off, I think Richmond are going to cover this line of 18.5. Hawthorn are only 8 and 9 at covering the line this year. Richmond have really good two-way running midfield, great pressure at all ends of the ground. So, Tigers defense is, too strong. So, I'm going to go Richmond minus 18.5 to, continue their winning form. $1.91 there.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking?
I think Richmond win and I won't be watching it.
You won't be watching? Do you think the line, they'll cover the line? 8.5?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care. I think Richmond win and they're like, Richmond can still make the finals. I'm still not fully convinced.
I'm not fully convinced with them, but
I'm waiting for them to get smacked up. Maybe, I don't even know who they're playing next week, but it's just like, you'll keep winning. You've got a good draw.
They got a good draw. That's why I'm thinking, they could still make it.
I reckon they get the job done this weekend, but honestly, don't care.
What about you, Leo?
They play Melbourne next week. They're in trouble.
Okay, yeah.
In terms of a fantasy pick, it's a bit of a tricky game because Finn McGuinness will tag.
Yeah, he does tag. Yeah.
Will he tag?
Oh, it goes after Taranto.
But
true.
Willie, he did Bolton last year and then he went on to Dusty for a bit. So I've looked different. I've looked to Daniel Rioli for 90+ fantasy points.
Yeah, and I'd tag Rioli, actually running off half back.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
they won't tag him.
I think they'll go
to
to Shy, I reckon. But $2.05 with Ladbrokes, averages 87 this season. But because sort of his attention will be elsewhere, McGuinness's attention will be elsewhere, I think Rioli will fly under the radar here.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
All right, tips. Siren's gone.
Tips.
Richmond.
Yeah, we got Richmond. I think we're all going Richmond. Yeah. Nice.
All right. Carlton, $1.02. The line's 65.5.
Oh.
Let's remember they beat Port Adelaide by 50-odd last week.
Yes.
West Coast 19, possibly missing a 0. I did just see West Coast are on the plane. I just saw that on social media. The over-under is 159.5. I'll be honest, I think Carlton can get that themselves. Where do we start here? I'm going to be honest. I think Carlton can win this by 100.
Yeah.
The way they have played the last 4 weeks, it's what the hell happened to them in May? Honestly.
We might have to do the USADA test on
I don't know what we're going to have to do.
Looked great.
Carlton minus 101.5 against West Coast Eagles this weekend.
I don't know about 100, but
$5. They beat Port by 50.
Yeah, true.
If they play like that, they'll win by 150 here. $5.60 for the minus 101.5. I wanted to find more than this, but Charlie Curnow to kick 6 is $3.60.
No Harry Mackay.
No Harry McFive getting out of his way. Harry McDouble got out of our way.
On the bench.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's just there is no way known seeing the way Carlton played last week, and it's the way they're also going. They know they need to win big because the murmur has turned into a heartbeat, and the lid is officially off after last week.
Yeah, lids are off.
If they win this big and get a big percentage boost, that's a lot of confidence running into the last few rounds of the season.
Yep.
But this is like, your Cherry, your Doherty, Walsh, Cripps, like all getting the 25 plus.
I agree,
We haven't gone too deep into this game. This isn't one of our games that we've covered yet.
Jesse Motlop even 2+, $2.10. What did he have 5?
He kicked 4 last week.
4. Yeah, he was awesome last week, and he's got a bit of confidence behind him. So just $2.10, I think, is a bit more value than Curnow's paying $1.01 to kick 2 as well. So stay away from it.
Carlton's over under is 119.5. They've kicked 100 in their last 4. I'm taking that over all day.
Yep.
So I'll be throwing a little same gamer there with the Carlton minus 101, Charlie to kick 6, and then I'll throw that midfield combination 25, 25, 25 all the way through to get there.
Nice.
Carlton win, and I'm honest, they'll win by 100.
Yeah. Oh, I just love that. The line, you get $1.90 for 65.5, which is awesome. So I'd be jumping all over that.
Yeah, I'm going angry.
What about you,
all in.
Leo?
Curnow, 90 plus fantasy points.
Yeah.
$2.15.
How much do you get for a goal?
9, I think.
10,
But if
10,
you
yeah.
market 12,
Okay, so he kicks 6 goals. He's on 70.
I think he's going to have a huge game.
Yep.
It's at Marvel, weak Eagles team. Believe there's no Jeremy McGovern.
Yep, he's out.
Yeah.
Yep,
He's
he's
a
out.
massive
And
out, yeah.
as you mentioned, no Harry Mackay, so just more room for Charlie to move. So this is a huge game coming up for him.
I'm just throwing 6 players together to get 25 plus before adding in my Charlie 6 and whatever. So 5 players: Cripps, Doherty, Chera, Walsh, Tim Kelly, 25 plus, $5.
Wow.
That's before I do my line and everything else. I'll put that
They're
together.
just going to be all hand-blinded into each other. in the
Yeah,
midfield.
I'll put that one together and read it out after this because we're on to the next game. We're all tipping Carlton. There's no shock about that. Stats guy, the next game is you, and it is the game of the weekend. And if we didn't have the Matildas playing tonight, I would be campaigning this to be on Thursday.
Yeah, fair. So Brisbane, it's at the Gabba, obviously, $1.50. Geelong, $2.70. The line is 13.5. The over-under is 175.5. Brisbane, they're obviously the number 1 home team in the competition. 8-0 this year at the Gabba, which has been absolutely awesome. And they've got a similar record to the Cats and Geelong over the last couple of years. 47-8 there since 2018. So they're just an absolute powerhouse. Yeah, very rarely do you catch a weak Brisbane down there. Oh, sorry, up there. The Cats though are charging towards a guaranteed final spot. I was surprised to see they're already up to 5th. Not that long ago, it felt like people are saying they're going to miss finals. They're already gone, but they've got a few players back, and they've just been awesome. They've obviously got Jeremy Cameron back last week, Tom Hawkins obviously bolstering their forward line. They come up against the Lions, who have the number 1 offense in the competition and just have a very shared offense. So I'm really happy on that over of 175.5.
Yeah, that looks
I feel
fine.
like it could be an absolute shootout just because, there's so many offensive options for both teams. So they definitely go on the overs on that one. And then some player props. Looking at Ollie Henry, he had a bit of a slow start for his Geelong career, but he's been really good
He's
over the last
kicking
month.
goals left, right, and centre at the moment.
Yeah, 7 goals across his last 3 games. I think he had 4 goals a couple of weeks ago. And I think Lions do have a pretty strong backline, but they've got a very tall backline that will take care of Jeremy Cameron and Hawkins. But I don't see their third tall doing a good job against Ollie Henry. So I'm trying to even think who their third tall will be playing on him.
Gardner.
Yeah, maybe
You
Gardner,
got
but
Gary Rowan,
who's
there
been
as
pretty
well,
solid.
so-
So they've got so many forward options that I think Henry can find some space and get that 2 plus at $2.10. The form he's in, averaging more than 2 goals across the last month. Got to get on the $2.10 for that, for 2 plus. Then another one for Geelong is Max Holmes, just 25 plus disposals this week. I think that's a really good bet here. He had a career high 33 disposals last week. It was absolutely awesome. Can find the ball inside and out of packs. He just seems to always be in the right spots. He's just been in really good form, 26 and 33 in his last 2 games. Geelong's midfield actually doesn't have that star power like it sort of used to. We got no Salwood and things like that. Danger's been pretty solid, but he's actually, numbers have gone down and Max Holmes' numbers have gone up. So 25 plus at $3, I was very surprised about for a guy that's in the form he's in. Really happy with that one. Looking at a few Brisbane player props, Will Ashcroft, he's been awesome this season. I think that you were talking about Amos for Rising Star, but I think a lot of people are, Ashcroft
If Amos kicks 40 goals, he should win it.
I can agree with that.
If I
Sheasel
was in a
obviously not there.
midfield with Dunkley and Lockie Neal, I'd
Yeah.
get 15 a game.
Yeah, well, there's an argument that they're getting 30 every week, and it's hard to get the ball. But so I think he's been absolutely awesome, and he loves playing at home. I just had to look at the stats. He averages 28 disposals at the Gabba this season, so he loves to excite.
So he's
the
a
home.
downhill skier, is what you're saying, stats guy.
A little bit, but a little bit maybe.
I put words in
But
your
it's
mouth.
that's all right. He might be, but it's his
I, for
first
one, am
season.
not saying that.
Oh, you did.
No, I didn't.
We'll just
I
cut
was
that
asking
part.
you.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe a little bit, but obviously, he's having an amazing season. You can average that in your first season. So 25 plus, so just under that average at home is $2, which I was really happy about. And then finishing off with Brisbane, Lincoln McCarthy as a first goal kicker. He's done it 3 times already this season. He hasn't got as many goals because he's sort of been using the midfield wing a little bit, half forward.
He can't kick straight.
And he can't kick straight at the moment, but he's done it. Yeah, he's kicked the first goal more than any of the one in their team this year, which I was a bit surprised about. So, and I thought it was a bit more value than your Charlie Cameron, your Joe Danaher's and things like that. So, $18 for Lincoln McCarthy first goal. I think it was great value. I'll finish off with just a match pick. Geelong's defense, I think, is too strong to allow this to be a smashing. Obviously, Brisbane have a really good forward line, but you got Tom Stewart, Jack Henry playing really well for Geelong. But I think Brisbane are going to lift at home. Usually, we look at the 1 to 39 market, but on Ladbrokes they have a 1 to 24 market. So I don't see this being bigger than a 25-point margin. So why not get on Brisbane 1 to 24 at $3.25? Like Geelong in great form. Brisbane obviously going to, I think, win at home. So I'll just take the Brisbane 1 to 24 here.
I like it.
Nice.
I like it a lot. What's your bet there, fantasy-wise?
I'm going to jump on the Will Ashcroft downhill skier bandwagon. I'm actually not, but 90-plus fantasy points, $2.40 with Ladbrokes. So, as you mentioned, he loves playing at the Gabba.
Yep.
In 6 of his 8 games this year at the Gabba, he scored 90 or more fantasy points. And I'd go as far to say a lot of those have been 100, 110 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's kicked a couple of goals at home as well.
Yeah, so he just loves playing his best football there. So I think
He's a
that's
dry decker.
Yeah, I think that's some great value for 90-plus.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Side note, that multi of Walsh, Cherrard, Doherty, Cripps, Kelly, 25 plus, Curnow 6, Carlton 100 plus, and the alternative over of 182.5, 37.25.
You sound like a Carlton fan with all these links, but yeah.
Harry McFive!
No Harry McFive this
Yeah,
one.
sounded like who are we tipping, gents?
I'm going Brisbane, as I just mentioned. Yeah.
Brisbane.
Okay, cool.
All right, match of the weekend.
You said that for the last one.
Yeah.
Double match of the weekend.
Exactly, yeah.
Another
Well, this one is.
top 2 clash, yeah.
Well, this one deserves Saturday night slot, like 4:35 for Brisbane and Geelong.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
It should be either 3 o'clock Sunday or the Thursday night football game. Oh, no, it's too many 5-day breaks. All right, say that to an MLB, EPL, or an NBA player. Good luck with that. Anyway, Port Adelaide, $2. Seems short. 1.5 head start.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like enough.
That's a weird line.
Collingwood, $1.85, minus 1.5. Over under is 163.5. I'm going to go the over straight away.
Yep.
In the last 3 games between these two, we've gone well over, and also 6 of the last 7 at the Adelaide Oval. Just at the Adelaide Oval have gone over the total points line as well. So that's not between the two. That's just the last 6 of 7 at the Adelaide Oval.
Yep.
What do we do with Port Adelaide? Because they got blown off the park last week. Was it a tactical tank, given they had 7 changes from the week before? Obviously, Trent McKenzie had to miss through his injury, but a few others, like if it was a final, I still reckon Horn Francis Dixon, and it's now Willie Rioli. After it's been 12 months since his family member passed away.
Yep.
So so now Willie Rioli, I reckon all of them would have played last week if it was a final. And I was like, oh, well,
It was a bit strange, yeah.
And then obviously,
they got absolutely smashed.
And then obviously Butters has a groin niggle, but is apparently going to play.
Yep.
But he's no value. Like, he's 25 plus. There is no value betting in him whatsoever. No. So having a look around at this, and I've just finished this now. This will be up on the website by the time everyone's listening to this. Finlayson and Rosie are the two for me that really need to step up here. Finlayson needs to go big against Moore and Murphy, and the All-Australian back pocket in Isaac Quaynor. That's another one I'm going to start just
He's been awesome, yeah.
Drilling into. Quaynor and Errol are my two this year. Finlayson has got 3+ in his last 3 games at the Adelaide Oval. Also, my quirky one that I love, the last 3 Saturday games that he's played at the Adelaide Oval, he's kicked the first goal.
3 Saturday? So,
so Saturday. It's a Saturday. They're playing
it's just
on Saturday.
A Saturday thing. Yeah.
$11 to kick the first goal.
Okay.
$3.50 for Finlayson to kick 3 or more. Obviously, Rosie, love him. Awesome. He averages 25 plus a game this season and has averages a goal a game. So 17 this year.
Yep.
He's 25 plus an anytime goal. Like, I'm loving these midfielders, 25 plus in a goal. It's the Petrarca from a month ago.
Yeah.
$2.67 with Ladbrokes. And then we've got a same game multi with BetR. These are in the featured sections you can find there. Connor Rosie to kick a goal. Houston 25 and Butters 20 plus. $2.40. Houston had about 8 million possessions last weekend.
40s.
Or 41.
40 something.
Yeah, he's having a really good season. Like if he honestly had like a mullet or something, a lot more people would pay attention to him instead of insert generic creator character from any game you've ever played. Great footballer, just a very plain dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I know
for Collingwood, Nick Dacos, he's going to win the Brownlow by 100 yards unless he punches someone in the face.
he seems like a pretty level-headed guy, so
he does.
He won't get reported or anything. He's too perfect.
I know. He's good looking. He's got a tan. Like, he's got everything. Hate that guy. 36 in a goal last week. In 12 games this year, he's got over 30 possessions and he's kicked a goal or more in his last 7 games.
He can't be stopped.
He had, 32 and 2 in round 2 when they absolutely smoked Port. Like, that's the key point about this is in round 2, and I've said it for about a month, the best football I've seen this year was Collingwood's first half in round 2.
Absolutely.
They blew Port off the absolute park. Port had come off smacking Brisbane in round 1. And remember, we were like, oh, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
16 weeks later, that round 1 result doesn't feel weird anymore, does it?
No.
The
way Port played last week. I thought
the Collingwood won by 70-odd points. So anyway, back to that Nick Dacos, 30 plus touches and anytime goals, 259 with Ladbrokes, so I don't mind that at all. Collingwood's over themselves is 83.5, $1.90. I don't mind that.
That's good, yeah.
Because they kick 6 or 7 goals out of nowhere and you're like, Oh, yeah. Collingwood just steamrolled them.
Yep.
Anyway, Gerald, please hit it.
Rate my
We're just working on levels here. This is what happens when Gerald and I do 3 shows together on a Thursday.
Just the chemistry.
It's called the Saturday Night Sizzler in Adelaide.
Sizzler, I like
it's
that.
the same gamer. Dacos 30 plus, we've outlined it. Rosie 25 plus, we've outlined it. Dan Houston 25 plus, 41 last week against Carlton. This is the one I love. Pendle's 20 plus. In his last 14 games in South Australia, Pendle's has had 21 or more in all
Loving
of
these
them.
stats.
Elliott 2 or more. He's got 4 or more in his last 3 games. Bit of a tougher test, but the way Port's backline leaked some goals last week, I'm thinking 2 plus there.
Yep.
I know Finlayson 2 plus is my riskiest one here.
I don't think so.
Obviously, he's got those goals in the last couple of games at the Adelaide Oval. He's playing really well. He can snag 2 because the way sort of Collingwood like just slingshot, they can get caught out on the rebound. And then that leads me to Todd Marshall. Love me some Todd Marshall. Love him. Great goal kicker.
Yep.
He's kicked 2 or more in 5 of his last 6. Those 7 legs, gentlemen, will get you $47.41 with Ladbrokes.
$47. What am I going to give that? I will give it an 8, which I'm surprised about because it's worth $47, but I'll give it an 8, yeah.
I think 8 as well, yeah. I reckon one of those goal kickers.
I'm worried about
might let you
Finlayson and
down.
Marshall, I'll be right.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
If anyone's going to kick the goals, they're the 2 that they
Yeah.
go to every time
Yeah.
they go forward. So I don't mind it, yeah.
Yeah, because Collingwood are the best defensive team in the AFL by so far. It isn't funny.
Yeah,
Like,
and
they've
Dacos
only
can
allowed
get 30 touches in his sleep, so
That's it. All right. What's your bet there, Leo?
Bet back to the well, Nick Dacos, 120 plus fantasy points.
Nice.
$2.25 with Ladbrokes. Had this bet last week and he got 130. So
nice.
why not go back to it at that price? So
All right.
Very
Tips,
nice.
gentlemen.
Collingwood,
Got to go
just.
Collingwood. But I don't mind at the line of that -1.5. If you're going to tip them to win, you might as well take the 1.5, unless they somehow win by just 1 point. You'd be pretty stiff.
I'm taking in my article. I've said Collingwood -21.5 at $3.15. My top game commentary at codebet.com.au.
Check it out.
40 plus.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
Nah, the main are going. Yeah, we're going to teach them a lesson. Let's go. Ooh, I'm all about it. All right, Saturday night, the other game. I'll be the only person watching this in Australia. Fremantle, $2.24, 4.5 head start. They have drifted. They were $1.80 this time last week.
Freo?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
were
were
they
favourites
favourites?
before
Okay.
they stank it up again. Sydney, $1.72. Go the boys, -4.5. Over under 165.5. All right, we'll start off with Freo. They've lost 5 of their last 6 by an average of 42.6 points.
That's not
That's
great.
not great.
Oh, come on, guys.
And you add in no Sean Darcy again this week. That's not great. You know, they're dominant ruckman.
ruckman,
What do the
yeah.
Swans not have? A ruckman.
Yeah, that's
So-
very handy that he's not playing.
It does help. So Caleb Sarong back from suspension. Let's not go into that. He had 33 and 2 when these two teams played at the SCG last year. He's got 30 plus in 4 of his last 5. That's $1.70. I don't mind that at all.
Yep.
Swans inside mids have been getting smashed up all year, and that's where Sarong lives and breathes. Lukey Jackson going it alone in the ruck. Again, Swans midfielders got smashed last week. He had a day out when these two played. He kicked 17 and 3. I was tipping everyone up to the 3+ goals. It was
He
like
kicked 17 and
$6.
3.
Well, no, he had 17 disposals
Yeah.
and 3 goals.
Yeah, I was joking, yeah.
And Sean Darcy had 44 hitouts that day, so he was playing a bit of everything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
So Jackson was doing a bit of all. So 20 plus in a goal, given he's got to be in the ruck all day. $2.85.
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
loving these,
Pretty good.
possessions in a goal.
Yeah, it's just easy to follow as well.
Yeah, Brayshaw, obviously, gun, love him. 29 plus in his last 11 games, but he's had 30 in the last 2 games against the Swans.
Yep.
Which so there's like I was like, oh yeah, I'll put in 25 plus, and then it's like it's $1.33. It's like you don't need me to tip you that. So
Yeah.
having a look at BetR, and they've got these same game multis, and I love them. Brayshaw 25 plus, Sarong 25 plus, and Lukey Ryan has had 30 plus in his last 3.
He loves
20
it, yeah.
plus, $1.88. Don't mind that at all, providing we don't get an injury. The Swans. Where do we go?
Oh, there we
There
go.
we go. Just the t-shirt. I'm wearing it now. I'm a believer.
Nice.
What can I say? 30 plus, 3 of his last 4 games, 26 plus in his last 5, $2.70 for the 30 plus. He's the All-Australian winger. Just give him
It'd be
his
cool if
blazer.
you could bet on All Australia.
You can. I know a guy's on at 20s at the start of the season.
I thought you were about to say you can bet on it. I know a guy like just around
It's
the
not
corner.
me. I actually missed out on the bet.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like, I was got this at the start of the year after he had
You
the
could at the start
87
of the year.
disposals against Carlton. So I was like, Errol All-Australian. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm regretting it now as he was 20s. Callum Mills getting better as the weeks go on. 26 in his last 3 in Perth. The 25 plus was about $1.80. Didn't mind that. My boy, T. Papley, lifted the Swans over the line last week with 4 throwing celebrations left, right, and centre. 15 plus and 2 goals at $3.16. Leads me to a same game multi. Swans to win, Papley to score 2, Franklin 2. He's playing well. He's taking a lot of grabs at the moment, buddy. It's like all of a sudden at 43,
it's random,
he's decided to take contested grabs. That is $3.90 for that.
Nice.
Bud's just $1.96 on his own to kick 2+. He's got a really good record at Perth as well. He's kicked 2+ in his last 9 against the bottom 4 teams. And my bet that I absolutely love. This one I'm keep writing because I've made a lot of money off it already this year. Marty Party. 4+ in his last 2 against teams in the bottom 4. He is $15 to kick 4 goals on Saturday night over in Perth.
Nice.
Let's go.
Very nice. Oh, there's the
Look at that
siren.
timing. All right, quickly.
Leo's going to kick after the siren. That's right.
Yeah.
Caleb Sarong, 110 plus fantasy points, $2.10 with Ladbrokes.
It's good value.
Very good value. As you mentioned, Sydney probably get beat up a bit on the inside.
A lot,
little bit or a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Sarong, I think, coming back from suspension, he'll be very ready to go for it. So,
it's actually a good team to be fresh against the Swans. All right, tips.
That. Yeah, I'm going to go Swans,
Sydney as well,
I'm tipping Sydney as well. I was shocked that they were outsiders.
Last week I actually was thinking I would have tipped Freo in this game, but they have just been horrible.
The way Freo have gone recently, it's very hard to tip them. But the Swans for me here. All right, we go across to Sunday. This one, this is slightly tricky. GWS and
tricky.
the Gold Coast. What is it? $1.50, $1.62 GWS. The 8.5 line. Gold Coast $2.45 off the back of a win. The over/under is 170.5. I'm going to start off there. I think the under is right there. This game is, of course, at Manuka Oval, so there's every chance GWS get blown off the park because
they hate playing there. Actually, I forgot about that.
Playing there.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
Positive. The Giants have won 10 of the last 11 between the two teams.
Yep.
But I think they've lost their last 4. At
Canberra,
Manuka Oval.
really,
it's
supposed
terrible.
to be their second home ground where you're
Just
supposed to be
tape
pretty
up
strong.
the Canberra on the back of your shirts, boys.
Pretend you're not there. Pretend you're back in Sydney.
Close your eyes and think of home.
Now that'd be a
they
good
play
game to
better
watch.
away, so they should pretend they're.
That's it.
That's
They're
weird,
they're away
Pretend they're on a
records.
road trip. Yeah, exactly.
So really funny small bet is they've won the first quarter in the last 7 matches against Gold Coast. That's $1.71 with Ladbrokes.
Oh, if you want a bit of fun with that. Or lose very early. I don't know too.
GWS have failed to cover the line in 8 of the last 9 at Manuka as well. So if you like the Gold Coast line, that's one for you. But it's just Gold Coast and St Kilda last week. It's just it was you're watching it. You're like, Gold Coast aren't impressive, but St Kilda are never going to win this game. There was no. It was just that happened. There wasn't. What do you take from it? Rory Atkins having 30 disposals and kicking a couple of goals.
Flanders is
he
pretty
playing
good too.
Flanders was good, but it's is Rory playing for another contract? I don't know where to lean in this. This is one of my games. I haven't got to it yet. I was too busy doing Port Adelaide and Collingwood.
Yeah, that's
fair.
I got a player prop if we want to look at that.
I had one as well, but you go.
All right. Sam Flanders, who I just mentioned, he's actually been
Flanders.
he's been absolutely awesome.
That could be a bit for Gerald as well.
Yeah, we could get that. Haddly doodly. So Flanders last few weeks, so he's got 27, 27, 24, and 33, which really surprised me as I'm looking at the stats right now. So $2.10 to get that 25 plus when he's averaging close to that 30 across the last month. I think great bet.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I've got to get it up here what GW Gold Coast actual under is because Sam Taylor is going to absolutely shut them down there.
He's a great back.
He's the All-Australian fullback this year.
Ooh. I
I could pick the All-Australian team, I reckon, this year. I'm going to have that next week. That's something I'll bring you.
We could do
the
that,
All-Australian team. Errol would be on a wing, Josh Dacos on the other, Nick Dacos in somewhere
Any
in there.
Hawks or North players? Or?
No, absolutely
Suva.
not. No, actually, I might throw Suva in.
Sicily?
No, get suspended too. I can't have thugs. It's an All-Australian team.
He's been a good player.
Yeah. Bailey Humphrey to kick a goal as well. He seems like the type that could kick a goal, getting in and under, just getting front and center of one of the spoilers from Sam Taylor because I think King's that far out of form. This is the last thing that he wants. He gets there and he's like, crap, I got Sam Taylor. Gold Coast under is 79.5. I'm all over that at the $1.83. I'm all over the under in this game as well. Leo, give us your bet.
Took Miller, 100 plus fantasy points.
Nice.
$1.70 with Ladbrokes. Seems to sort of be warming into it after coming back from an injury.
Yep.
So I think it's his 3rd game back.
Yep.
And
25 last week.
25 last week. So I think he'll just sort of go on the incline and just keep improving week in, week out.
Yeah, I rate that.
All right, tips.
Giants. Even though I forgot they were playing at Manuka, so I'm a bit worried.
Not great.
They just got a curse down there.
Yeah, the only place they can't win out of state is the ACT because, let's be honest, who wants to go there? I don't mind GWS minus 8.5 and the under 166.5, $3.60 with Ladbrokes.
Nice.
All right, D's in Adelaide. Stats guy, take over. I've been talking for 3 games.
Sure. Melbourne, $1.35. Adelaide, $3.40. Just found out before that Rory Laird is out this week, so he's a massive out. Been Adelaide's best player probably the last couple of
Changes
years.
everything.
The line is 18.5 in this one. Actually, I don't know if that's right. Can someone double
18
check
and a
that
half
one?
feels right.
Yeah, okay. And then the over-under is 166.5.
I'll get
Just
it.
looking straight at that over-under, Alex, I think you talked about Melbourne.
It's 19 now.
Yeah, 19, okay. The over-under, the 166.5. I'm really looking at the under. The way the D's have been playing across the last few months, I think
The
you
D's
mentioned
kicked
it.
100 points to win last week.
Other than last week. They couldn't get a score above 70 pretty much. So I actually don't mind the under. It's supposed to be pretty wet here in Melbourne.
Shock me.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go the under on this one. You got any other player props or things like that? Like this one?
Straight away, it's like Adelaide have lost their last 7 at the G. Their average total points is just pathetic. It's under like 60 odd. I don't like it at all. Petrarca's just been awesome.
He's been so good.
Clary came
I'll
out.
check
so
some player props for him.
having a look at him to get 30 plus and a goal again. But it's like, do you play him with Laird out? Do you just leave him as a high half forward now? And he gets his 20 plus and kicks 2 or 3.
Because some of the high half forwards just push up into the midfield anyway. So
Yeah.
he's even $2 to kick 2+ goals, and he's kicked 8 in the last 2 weeks. So yeah,
Well, that's it.
great value.
Like,
yeah.
that seems a great bet given he kicked 4 last week.
And the week before, yeah.
Lockie Murphy's been kicking a few goals for Adelaide as well. I didn't mind him to kick a goal at about $2.25. Jack Viney as well after sneaking that one last week.
He's been awesome, yeah.
Excuse me, he's $2.50 to kick a goal there as well. But this is a game. This is what's his game? Marcus's game, isn't it? So
Yes.
hasn't come through to us as of yet.
That's right.
Have to go out there and kick his ass.
That's all good.
But yeah, that Petrarca 2+ is there in text. He's kicked 2+ in his last 9, so $1.50 for that.
Yep.
I don't know how these small forwards are going to go. Like we saw it last time when they got here. It's just like, oh god. Like,
Yeah.
And then they had that brilliant half an hour, and then they sort of went to water again. So I'm not sure about that whatsoever. Lukey Pedler's $2.55 to kick 2.
Oh, the fan favourite.
The fan
$2.55. That's great. That's great.
I think the D's cover as well. I think that's a very
Yeah, that's
good
a
bet.
pretty
The
low
loss
line,
of
yeah.
Laird is big for me.
Yeah, they've obviously still got Dawson, who's probably been their best player this year, but Laird and Dawson play really well together. They just get their hands off each other and get the clearance.
This is why I
So,
think Elliot Yeo would be a good pickup for Adelaide.
Yeah, just depends how fit he could stay and things like that. But at his best,
you
Elliot
give,
Yeo's a gun,
you give West Coast pick 30 and you take 3/4 of his salary. It's a good deal. It's like
Possible.
a fit Elliot Yeo, just at a different, with different doctors and everyone around him.
something's going on with the doctors at West Coast.
Well, that's it.
Everyone's
It's just-
getting injured.
It's a different, it's a different environment. It's like, okay, he could be a really good key for Adelaide, and you give him a third rounder, like, wow, we're not going to take all the money. You want to get rid of him? You're going to have to pay $200,000 of his contract.
Yeah,
It'd work.
true.
Anyway, what's your bet?
Jack Viney to have 100+ fantasy points.
Yeah, nice.
$2.05 with Ladbrokes. It's almost like when it gets colder, he just plays better. He just
He likes the tough conditions,
Loves
yeah.
the tough conditions.
Yeah,
loves
okay.
it wet.
It's the opposite of stats guy. He goes to water when it's wet.
Hey,
The last 3 weeks, he's got an average of 116. So I still think for like 100+ fantasy points, $2 is
anything.
fantastic
Yeah,
value.
even money. That's awesome.
Petrarca 25 and 2, $3.13.
Oh,
Yeah, don't mind that. All right,
Nice.
tips.
Demons.
D's just.
Yeah,
Demons quite easily.
quite easily.
I think Adelaide are also. This is how we were on them really keen a couple of months ago. This is that
dipped
the
again.
young
This is
team
what they did last
that's
year as
hit
well.
and they're starting to dip. Yeah, it's maybe also Port Adelaide as well. Like really hit their peak way too soon.
We'll see.
All right, stats guy finishes up with the absolute
Game of the round.
game of this season. It's awesome. The NRL starts out with the worst game ever. The AFL ends the weekend with the worst game ever.
This is going to be a blockbuster. St Kilda $1.17, North Melbourne $5.75. That is too short, I think. $5.75. Alex has fallen asleep here. He's in the comfy chairs, to be fair. These new chairs are awesome. Definitely better sitting in these than watching this North game. The line is 33.5 and the over-under is 162.5. I'm just going to have a look at that over-under line.
How did the Swans lose to St Kilda? Seriously.
Yeah, St Kilda looked horrible. So you got two of the bottom 4 offenses going head-to-head here. North and St Kilda totaled last time for 98 points total. Of the whole match was 98 points. I was there, and that was probably the worst game of the season. Same conditions under the roof, and the under's only 162.5. So I think it's going to go well under. I'm going to look at an alternate line just for a bit better value there at 152.5, which is $2.45. I really like that look because the unders are just definitely going to hit the way North have been playing and relying too much on Larkey. The Saints without Max King, who's been an absolute workhorse for them. Then having a look quickly at some player props because we don't want to spend too much time on this game. Bailey Scott, he's been a shining light for the Roos lately.
Definitely,
He's averaging 29 disposals across the last few months, got a career high 34 touches last game. I felt like we hardly had the ball, but yeah, every time he got it, we got out to the wing, he'd find
He's
space.
had a lot of the footy this year.
He's
Like
been
a
awesome,
lot.
yeah, especially last few months. That 29 disposals.
He had that couple of week period when Rats started,
Yeah,
where, where it
33
was
and 30,
like 30 and a goal every
Yeah.
week. You're like, oh yeah,
He's a really good
Bailey
player.
Scott.
Like he like I think even last year he got that 20 touches. I'm like, yeah,
He's got 2 first names and 2 last names.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so you get a bit of value there. I think he's one of those. A lot of the North players, because they're not as well known or big club and things like that, they go under the radar in the betting odds. So $2.35 for the 25 plus, I think is a great bet. And then looking at the Saints side, Jade Gresham, I just don't think North have a good matchup for him at all. He's extremely fast and agile. No one in North's backline is extremely fast or agile.
Tell me Jack Zeeble is
Yeah,
an
Zeeble and
extremely fast
McDonald
or
there.
agile.
Surely
Yeah.
they don't play.
This is the first week I'm really having to go at our whole team, but I was just so frustrated last
You
week.
guys suck.
We were horrible. So Jay Gresham, 2+ goals is $2.55. He has 6 goals in his last 5 games. He's kicked a goal in it, at least 1 goal in his last 5 games. So I think he's going to get off the chain there. And then just finishing off with a game pick. North have been shambolic, losing our last 15 matches. Saints have won comfortably in the last 3 meetings. They can use their pace off half-back through my favourite, Wanganeen Miller, so I'm happy to watch him. And I think they're going to win big here. I know the Saints have been pretty bad, but North have been a lot worse. So Saints minus 33.5, considering most of our games, North have been losing by 40 plus. So $1.91 for the Saints to cover the line there.
Go on, Leo.
Best bet.
Nice. Brad Crouch to have 110 plus fantasy points
Nice.
is $2.02 with Ladbrokes. So he averages 103 this season, but I just think playing that weak North team and a depleted midfield, I think we'll see an increase in scoring. Looking at last week, Warple, Day and Amon dominated North's midfield. They scored
Yeah, if you're getting
127.
dominated by them, that you're in trouble, stats
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, they're good players.
They scored 127, 111, 109 respectively. So Brad Crouch, who is
Could get 130,
more
Becca.
experienced and
Yeah.
a better quality player,
Yeah.
I think he'll do the same, if not better. So that's my bet.
Nice.
Hit it, Gerald.
What, we're hidden?
I thought he was hitting the siren. I saw the buzzer blow up. Yeah. There we go.
Thank
this
God.
is like that day down in Hobart where it didn't blow. All right. Who are we
It
tipping?
was a late siren. Yeah, go the Saints.
St Kilda.
I will be there.
I'll go North. Why not?
Oh, nice.
Well, Leo doesn't care. He's got no stakes in this. All right.
Do we have stakes?
That's all. Yeah, double the stakes. Anyway, all right. That's all the games previewed before we get to our best bets for the weekend. Gerald, please get the best bets queue ready. This is Jim's tips for the weekend. He is tipping Essendon, Richmond, Carlton, Geelong. Ooh. Collingwood,
against Brisbane,
Sydney, GWS, Melbourne, St Kilda. The only different one he's got to all of us there is he's tipping Geelong. Jim and I are Essendon, and Stats Guys, the Western Bulldogs.
Yes.
All right, punters. That is all the games previewed. It is that time of the week.
It's best bets, it's best bets, it's time for all the best bets.
I'm waiting for James to walk in with a cane and
God,
a little,
I love
little
this.
top hat or something like that.
I love
or
this
a
job.
monocle.
Righto, Stats Guy. Let's go.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, I thought my best bets were in there. Yes, they are. Yeah, St Kilda versus North. I think the unders of 162.5. I'm really, really surprised it's that high. So that's an absolute lock at $1.90. And then Will Ashcroft, as Leo talked up as well, he loves playing at home. Just the 25 plus, an easy bet at even money, $2.
Okay, I got a fair few here. Kyle Langford to kick 3 or more, $4 tomorrow night. The Bont, 25 and a goal, $2.47. That Collingwood alternate line that I talked about, minus 21.5 at $3.15 with Ladbrokes. It just feels right in the wheelhouse of a Collingwood win. You can even take it down to sort of that 16.5 and it's like $2.80. So have a look at that. Collingwood to win, over 154.5, and Nick Dacos to get 20 touches, $2.40.
Oh,
Thanks, Betar. Thank you.
Nice.
Of course, Errol, 30 plus. Like, come on, seriously. And then that one with Brayshaw, Sarong, and Luke Ryan, 25, 25, and 20 at $1.88. Don't mind those whatsoever.
Awesome.
And also, a Marty party.
oh yeah.
$15.
This is
for
the new Harry
$4.
McFly.
This is that.
But you've actually won
done
some
it
bets.
twice this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
He got it for me at $7. I could talk about Beef Sheldrick, who's out for the rest of the season. Poor bugger.
Nice,
It's all right. Anyway, that is, well, actually, Leo, what's your best bet?
Charlie Curnow, just to absolutely go off.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, against the Eagles, yeah.
$3.60 for 6 goals, punters. I wanted to find 10 plus. If I can find 10 plus, I'll be having. I'll have $10. He kicked 9 last time, and Carlton were going worse.
To be fair, he'll want to get 10. He's like, damn it, I didn't get 10 last
This could set up his Coleman win too.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, that is Code Bet Daily done and dusted for today. If you are catching this, please go listen to our World Cup preview shows. They're all above you right now on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. They're just under the daily. This, of course, is under the AFL Show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. They're all together. NRL Show already out. Hopefully you missed Thursday night's game because it would have stank. We'll be back on deck tomorrow, well, later today, because this is coming out on Friday morning. We will go through the weekend. There's a lot to get through. More Women's World Cup, some AFL, and, of course, the time-honoured donation.
Can't wait.
Get right around the show. Subscribe on all your podcast apps. Please. Seriously. Please. Like and review it. Seriously. Do it. Give us a follow on all the Code Bet socials. Facey, IG, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Threads.
Nice.
Get around that. Also, LinkedIn. Do we have LinkedIn? Surely we do.
No.
No, we don't.
boring.
We haven't used the form LinkedIn. Send in any questions via the socials, any bets. I think that's it for the week. Leo, thank you. You're fired.
James.
You should have gone like really like just Larry, just to be like, I don't care. I'm not back next week.
Thanks, Leo.
Good stuff, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
You've been doing a good job this week. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Gerald.
You're all right.
3 shows with me today. It's been a long day.
Yeah, for him.
Gerald, you are an absolute legend. And you know what? Thanks to me, because I'm awesome. What do we say here, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
May all your picks come in. Hopefully the odds are in your favour this weekend, punters. We'll catch you in a little bit. It's Code Bet Daily AFL Show. Out.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.